your conscience. Now, when I say that, clean out your conscience, you have to believe that there are some things that you should do that will help you get to a better state of thinking. Now, where does this come from? It comes from Hebrews 9:14 through 15. Each and every day, we, the human race, are inundated with suggestions, ideas, sightings, and doubts. The enemy comes only but to kill, steal, and destroy. So, his presentation can be convincing. I'll go back and give you an example of that. But we are to clean out our conscience from the seeds of doubt and failure. Now, so what's the example? Well, sometimes what the enemy will present to you in the form of a movie, a picture, a situation, may look to be very devastating. And once you step outside of the normal consciousness of your mind and step into a belief system that invokes faith, God says, I'll do things greater. I'll do things far above what you can imagine or even think. Clean out your conscience. Go to the word and it says, how much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God. And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. We're going to discuss the fact that you give your heart to God, but then you never clean out your conscience. We walk with God, but we never clean out our conscience. We pursue godly things, but we never clean out our conscience. What are you saying, brother preacher? Simply this. You continue to live life the same way you were living it before. You just say, God, forgive me whenever you do something wrong. Oops. What's supposed to happen, you're supposed to take inventory of the way that you think. You're processing. You're supposed to delete certain things in your mind. See, listen, when God created us, he created us as free agents. I got proof. Go to Genesis 3, 1 through 6. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, that's yes. Had God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it. Neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. You ain't gonna die. Don't you worry about it, girl. You ain't gonna die. Something as fine as you ain't gonna die. No, God ain't gonna let you die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened. First, I'm going to set a seed of deceit. Set. Planted. Delivered. He just did it. He just pitted her heart, mind, and her very spirit against her God. God didn't say that. He just don't want you to be like him. He don't want you to know what he know. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, Then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, little g. Even the devil knew that. You ain't gonna be God. He knew. Knowing good and evil. And when the woman, here's the whole gist of it. What that word?
Saw.
What'd she do? Right. She saw. What did she see? The enemy is going to come only but for three things. Steal, kill, and destroy. He is going to present you with an opportunity to fail God. He's going to paint a hallucination, or a mirage,
Illusion.
an illusion, a fantasy, whatever he got to do to get you to this point. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, how did she see that? Except that the example was set before her, and he didn't die. She touched it, she didn't die. And he's looking her in the eyes. Whatever the case may be, the enemy is going to set you up to show you that, hey, this sin is not unto death. What? Really? I'm not going to die? No. Ooh, that was fun. I'm sure when she bit the fruit, juice ran. It's probably good. Whatever it was good. But then, with God comes, even when the Spirit of God hits you and touches you, goes all through your body, it awakens your spirit, man. This fruit did that. Had that tingling going all over. She saw it was good, so she took it to her husband. I'm not even going to talk about that. That ain't what this sermon is. That's another one. I could go there. We're not going to go there. My point is, the enemy will paint these pictures, give you these elaborate shows to pull you away from where God intended for you to be. Here's my problem. These are seeds planted. So when Jesus comes and says, purge your conscience, clean it out. Because at some point you've received some things in your conscious mind that he didn't put there. And your conscious mind is at war with God. Because here the enemy presented to her conscious mind what he wanted her to see. See, told you you wasn't going to die. See. And only when she could see that it was good for food did she partake. The enemy is constantly trying to present you with ideas, illusions. So then we live under the illusions in our minds of seeds that have been planted in times prior, where they grow and become now fruit-bearing trees. And what's harder to deal with, a seed or a tree? You take a tree, you planted it, you cut it off, you kill it, it wants to die. I promise you, in a few months you'll have sproutlings coming up the side. That tree desires to live. But if you take a seed and remove it at seed point, before it is able to sprout, you got a better chance of not having a disrupted thing coming up in your life. But the tree, guess what? Every time you walk by that stump, you're going to see that thing coming up. You got to deal with it. Then it costs you a whole lot of money to have a stump remover come and do it. To come in and remove stumps that you should have taken to God. Because God is an automatic stump remover. You surrender you to God, God will remove the stump. You surrender you to God, whenever that seed gets dropped in your spirit, God will say, hey, kick that out. You don't want that. How many times should we purge our conscience? If you don't think something is presented to you daily, you're foolish. Every day you get up, the enemy is going to hit you with a barrage of illusions, dreams of grandeur. Free agents have the ability to make up their own minds, to do what they want to do. That's what you are, a free agent. Please don't get it twisted. God is not looking for robots. God is looking for a people who desire to love him, who desire to purge. What do you mean, God? To get those bad seeds that have been planted in your mind and remove them. Get them out. So that you can now abide in my glory. You can now abide in that place that I desire for you to be. I got proof. Joshua 24:15. Proverbs 16:9. Revelations 3:20. Revelations 3:20 says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. And if any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. That's Jesus. Revelations 3:20. He says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. The door of the church. You are the church. And he stands there and waits for an answer. He waits for an invitation. He waits, watch this, for room to be able to go in. If you got so much crap in here, in your mind, in your heart, where am I supposed to go to? Am I supposed to just... Flesh and God are enmity. They're enemies of each other. So he don't want to dwell in the flesh. But he does not. If any man opens, I'll come in. Now when I come in, I'm going to come in and embrace you, hold you, take you under my arm, walk with you, talk with you, teach you, guide you, help you. He says, because I'll come in and sup with you and you with me. Says, I'll give you the wisdom to know how to live your life correctly. That's where we're going with this. Only through the purging of the conscience are you able to get to a place of victory with God. You're able to get to a place where you walk continuously in faith. That's the example of Peter walking on the water. Because faith solidifies the ground under you. Faith says, where I can't see my next step, God can. Where every time I step forward, there seems to be a shaking in the ground, God keeps me footed. For the steps of a good man are ordered of the Lord. So as I walk in faith, because I've purged my conscience, God, I understand that the situation that I see is not going to be favorable. Go to sleep, get out your own way. Because then and only then can God purge, remove, cancel, and then reestablish your steps, your ways. Listen. Joshua 24:15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose ye this day whom ye shall serve. I'm putting in words, my bad. Whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and mine, we're going to serve God. God in this one sentence covered every applicable thing you could come across. He said the gods that were on the other side of the flood, and the gods where you live right now. You choose, little g. What do you mean, God? Is money your God? I don't know. Is cars your God? I don't know. Is girls your God? I don't know. Whatever you have proposed in your mind to believe is the greatest satisfaction for you. Wow. That's it. So whatever brings you the greatest pleasure, what is it? Remove it. Get it out of the way. God is the source of my joy. God is my strength. God is my everything. And once you get to the place where you allow God to be the God of everything that you want, everything that you are, God will establish you and sustain you. God is